Imagine you were living in Germany about 200 years ago, but the Germany we know today did not yet exist as a single country. Instead, the land was divided into many kingdoms and states. Powerful rulers governed their own territories, and each kingdom had its own laws, traditions, and armies. Kings ruled in Prussia, Bavaria, Saxony, and Württemberg. Each kingdom had its own royal court, its own culture, and its own ambitions. If you had walked through the streets of Berlin, Dresden, or Munich during that time, you would have seen soldiers guarding the city gates. Merchants would sell their goods in busy marketplaces, and above the cities stood magnificent palaces where kings ruled their lands. This was the world of the German monarchies. Among the most powerful kingdoms was Prussia. Prussia began as a relatively small state but gradually grew into one of the most powerful forces in the German lands. One of its most important rulers was King Frederick William III. He ruled during a time when Europe was shaken by the wars of Napoleon. These wars changed the political landscape of Europe and forced many states to rethink their power and their future. During this difficult period, Prussia introduced important reforms that strengthened the government and modernized the army. These reforms helped Prussia become one of the most influential powers in the German world. The legacy of the Prussian kings can still be seen today in many historic buildings and royal residences. One of the most famous examples is Sanssouci Palace in Potsdam. This elegant palace with its beautiful gardens and terraces served as a royal residence and a place of culture and philosophy. Even today, visitors from around the world come to see this remarkable palace and its gardens. Another powerful kingdom was Bavaria. Bavaria developed a strong cultural identity and royal tradition. One of its most influential rulers was King Ludwig I. He loved art, architecture, and culture. Under his rule, the city of Munich became one of the most important cultural centers in the German lands. Many museums, monuments, and historic buildings were built during his reign. Even today, the architecture of Munich still reflects the ambitions and vision of the Bavarian monarchy. But perhaps the most famous Bavarian king was Ludwig II. He is often called the fairy tale king because of his romantic vision and his love for grand castles. His most famous creation is Neuschwanstein Castle. With its dramatic towers and breathtaking mountain setting, Neuschwanstein looks like something from a legend or a fairy tale. Today it is one of the most famous castles in the world and one of Germany's most visited landmarks. The Kingdom of Saxony was another important state in the German lands. Its rulers governed from the magnificent city of Dresden. The Dresden royal palace served as the residence of Saxon kings for centuries. Dresden became famous for its art, its architecture, and its royal collections. Because of its beauty and cultural richness, the city was often called Florence on the Elbe. Even today, visitors can see the legacy of Saxony's royal past in its museums, palaces, and historic buildings. In southwestern Germany, the Kingdom of Württemberg also played an important role. Its rulers built impressive royal residences such as Ludwigsburg Palace. This enormous palace complex became one of the largest Baroque palaces in Europe. Its halls, gardens, and elaborate decorations reflected the wealth and power of the Württemberg monarchy. As a German land, these kingdoms were also connected to a larger imperial system, the Holy Roman Empire. For centuries, this empire united hundreds of territories under a loose imperial structure. The last emperor of this empire was Francis II. His reign marked the end of an era that shaped European history for nearly 1,000 years. In 1806, under pressure from Napoleon, the Holy Roman Empire was dissolved, but even though the empire disappeared, the legacy of the German kings did not vanish. Across Germany today, castles, palaces, historic cities and cultural traditions still remind us of the age of kings. From the terraces of Sanssouci to the towers of Neuschwanstein, these monuments continue to tell the story of Germany's royal past. They remind us that the Germany we know today emerged from many different kingdoms and traditions. And behind every palace, every castle, and every royal portrait lies a fascinating story waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this journey into the history of German kings, please leave a like on this video. And if you would like to see more videos about the history of Germany, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching.